Hundreds of Christian worshipers flooded Seattle's Cal Anderson Park Saturday afternoon to pray for the city and take a stand for traditional family values.
You will not disrespect the blood of Jesus Christ!
Especially against transgender ideology targeting children, all part of the May Day USA revival movement sweeping across the nation.
And the Lord says, sound the alarm! Sound the alarm! Lift up your voice!
But a time of blessing and praise quickly devolved into chaos. Far-left activists and Antifa militants tried to disrupt the concert.
Pushing cops, fighting, absolutely insane.
Throwing water balloons at the crowd, menacing attendees, and some activists even tried rushing the stage.
I would say there's two kingdoms clashing here today. There's the kingdom of God, and then there's the kingdom of Satan.
Which led to numerous clashes and scuffles with police.
All these Antifa activists, and then you got the concert going on here right now. What's it been like today?
And I think it just illustrates the idea that people who champion free speech and champion free expression are ultimately threatened and irritated by anybody else who has an opposing message. So
Russell Johnson with Pursuit Church was one of several pastors from Seattle participating with their congregations.
The mayor's trying to declare a state of emergency to shut down the event, but we're not going anywhere.
He says some of his volunteers were assaulted during the melee.
We've got people with bloody faces.
That's his worship pastor, Michael Leidy, stopping a man from crashing the gathering.
It's absolutely crazy.
As the day progressed, another group of trans activists marched into the park, adding to the number of people targeting followers of Jesus Christ with nasty messages, vile curse words, and full-blown debauchery. But even with the taunting, middle fingers, and disparaging comments, Folake Kellogg says prayers of love and forgiveness were sent to their attackers on the other side.
Not only do we come here to show the love of God, but we hope that by the time we are done here, that the atmosphere in Seattle will change.
We will be setting back up the fence line, and any counter-protesters are going to be escorted back behind it.
Officers eventually put up a metal barricade, separating the violent mob from concertgoers after more militants tried to breach the police line. When all was said and done, 23 people were hauled away in handcuffs, one officer injured, and a city left in desperate need of healing and leadership. Instead, Mayor Bruce Harrell sent out a controversial statement that appeared to be more divisive, calling the Christian concert an extreme right-wing rally that went against the LGBTQ values of the city.
That one with green hair.
Implying the peaceful worshipers brought this on themselves over the weekend. Harrell also questioned why a permit to use the park was issued to the group.
I think they're going to have changes.
This got the attention of the Trump administration.
This is the president's agenda.
Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmeet Dillon wrote on X, to deny a group a permit to pray in a public space because of crowd reaction is the classic heckler's veto, which is barred by the First Amendment. Seattle's mayor clearly needs an education in viewpoint discrimination.
The mayor of Seattle owes Christians in Washington state an apology for his bigoted remarks.
Pastor Johnson eviscerated the mayor during his Sunday sermon.
Church people were assaulted, and the mayor of Seattle has the audacity to blame Christians for the violence.
And is mobilizing hundreds of evangelicals for a protest in front of City Hall on Tuesday.
And it's not just us who've been assaulted, cops have been beat up as well.
Johnson says they're demanding an apology after Harrell victim-blamed Christians.
No, the police know because they see it on the front lines. Who are the real agitators?
The pastor says it's also time to send a strong message to political leaders in Washington state who have failed to condemn far-left violence for years. In the end, none of the Christians retaliated and were safely escorted out by police after the concert, many saying the persecution energized their faith.
The Bible says this is going to happen. You know, this is nothing new. It's something we're used to. And we just love the opportunity to love on them and share the gospel.
And are now planning to pray even harder for Seattle.
Everyone receives Jesus in a different way.
Hoping to conquer hate with the love of Christ.
Yep. I thought I'd do one on what happened up in Seattle this past week, the other weekend there, or what was it, the weekend or during the week there? I forget. It was pretty serious what was going on, the attacks and all this and that, and how bad the mayor is. It's really ridiculous. So I thought I'd bring this to you. I'm going to replay that particular clip at the end again, but I thought that was a good opener. I'm not going to play these in any particular order, just one after another, because I don't have them sorted that way, you know. So in any case, let's see. I'll probably go with this one next.
Excuse me, I'm a student journalist. Would you mind
Let me know if the sound's coming through good and everything.
Yeah.
It's not very loud right here.
Organization, why you guys are out here today.
It gets
So
louder.
we're called Let Women Speak, and we meet monthly to exercise our right for free speech for women.
How well can
specifically women.
everyone there hear it?
What parts of free speech do you think is being infringed on?
All.
Yeah,
Any free speech
record
that's
it,
infringed
good.
upon is all parts of free speech. So you should. Do you mean what do I want to speak about that I
Let's see any
can't?
volume adjustment
So
on
that
here.
might be that women don't have penises, that women deserve spaces away from men, that a man who calls himself a woman is not one, that you shouldn't transition children.
Maybe it's on my end.
How are trans women infringing on cis women's spaces?
So men in women's spaces
Check
makes it no
something on
longer a women's
stream here.
space. So we don't have a right to a women's space if a man is
Any
allowed
volume
in.
Have
adjustment
you
here.
ever felt personally unsafe with a trans woman in your presence?
Let's see it.
Have I felt unsafe with men in my presence? Yes, 100%.
Trans women.
Yeah, men.
Let's
So
see
that would
what
be
the
free
next
speech. If you say you're for free speech and
link
you're
show
trying to
does.
police my speech to call a man, then you wouldn't be for free speech,
Alright.
would you? Are you for? Are you
Because
for
the first
free
one was
speech?
definitely loud.
I guess not. Very upsetting.
All right, that was loud enough. This is where Antifa was trying to attack that mother who was carrying her child, and the cops had to fight them off to keep them from trying to physically harm them. They try to use fear, you know, to get you, to keep you from coming. They're speaking to the cops there because the cops won't let them physically attack women and kids. They're arresting one of them there. A lot of these videos overlap because they're taken from different people, different angles, different things. I wonder why that first one didn't play very loud. Let me check it again here to see if it's still. Yeah, that's still bad. Okay, I'll go back to another one.
Sure.
In a show of spiritual force,
Here's
hundreds
another
of
report.
Christians and their allies went scorched earth on Mayor Bruce Harrell outside Seattle City Hall.
It's time for the mayor to resign!
Pastor Russell Johnson led the charge, demanding an apology or a resignation from Harrell after he labeled their peaceful concert at Cal Anderson Park over the weekend an extreme right-wing rally. Then victim blamed the evangelicals for Antifa chaos and violence, implying they had it coming to them. As Johnson continued to pick apart the mayor's abysmal record in office,
Drug overdoses are up 89%. Property crimes, rapes, and violent assaults are all up.
he announced the White House was aware of what was going on in Seattle and would be taking swift action.
Serving a search warrant.
On cue, Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino posted on X, "We have asked our team to fully investigate allegations of targeted violence against religious groups at the Seattle concert. Freedom of religion isn't a suggestion."
And we're just here not to ask for special treatment. I'm here to ask for ordinary treatment.
Pastor Johnson is also threatening to sue the city for First Amendment violations after the mayor implied he would deny Christians any future permits for concerts at certain city parks.
Amazing.
Meanwhile,
they had that power
Antifa
to
counter-protesters outside the barricaded
take down the
perimeter
First Amendment.
continue to cause chaos and target Christians trying to get into the rally. Look at this woman with her baby being accosted by the crowd, and these people cornered and assaulted by the mob. Journalist Katie Daviscourt was chased by militants before police intervened.
They all hunted me down,
Seattle police had to save me.
All right, we're now here at the
There'll be more
corner of
clips on that.
Cherry.
And I was also menaced on the streets,
Oh my gosh, I don't have time for you.
surrounded by these goons and this masked man who lunged at me with his camera, body checking me as I walked towards City Hall. I defended myself as I tried to leave the scene.
Get off my face, man!
Police eventually arrested him, along with 7 other activists throughout the day.
Another Antifa militant arrested here right now.
Fallout for the
They
mayor
always
has
cover
been
their
swift.
face.
His approval ratings continue to plummet, and local media critics are having a field day.
It's probably because he's trying to score political points with the left.
In the end, the mayor refused to apologize or resign and is doubling down, releasing a statement saying he will not be intimidated by fear-mongering or a divisive rally.
Bye-bye, Bruce! Bye-bye, Bruce! About to drop an album here at City Hall.
Oh, I'd love to see him get voted
Pastor
out.
Johnson says the hubris and lack of humility being exhibited by the mayor will ultimately be his
Without all those
downfall.
Antifa
And
in
so,
that,
you know, my
a lot
hope is
more
that
would've
he's
came.
sensing and feeling and knowing, hey, there's a real weight to this thing. I screwed up, and I either better fix it or pack my bags and head in the next direction.
Can you believe that? Unbelievable. All right, here's the next one. Trying to scare people. They don't want to keep it from going. They're trying to scare people. Don't let them scare you. Come in groups and stand up. A lot of these
without getting thrown from the
Christians are,
you know, that's what America's about.
pretty
This is
brave.
what it is. We don't have to be this aggressive to each other. We can really have conversations without getting to this level. But honestly, that's why Trump won. We're just tired of fighting all the time.
I agree with him. A lot of these are short.
Excuse me. How do I get over there so I'm not standing with all of them?
It's Arnie. I know it.
He's trying to get in.
It's been on
Yeah.
the
And I'm
show.
only letting in staff members and volunteers at the moment.
I'm not a staff
Go ahead
member.
and let
I'm
more
going to
folks
the
at 5 o'clock.
protest. I'm a detransitioner, and these people will mock me if they figure out who I am.
One second.
Can you let the police know I need to get into the protest? These people really will mug me. I guess like the Christian side is right here. Let's try this. Trans women are autogynephiles. Autogynephilia is 92.5% of trans-identified males. Trans is perversion. Women have a right to sex-separated spaces. Castrating children is evil.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here. Just saying it. Just totally real. Tell us exactly. Tell us more. Tell us what you got going on. Tell us.
I said castrating children is evil.
Cool. I don't castrate children either.
Autogynephile?
No, I know I don't love
Are you sure about that?
circumcision, you fucking piece of shit.
Sir, if you could give me some space.
No, sir, I will not.
It's not 2014 anymore. Y'all seem really
No.
upset.
No, this person I do know, he was trans. He's a detranser, had the surgeries and all that, and was sold a bunch of stuff. Look at how bad they're attacking him. It's ridiculous. He was on my channel talking about how they lie to you about these surgeries and all this and that, how wonderful it is. They push it so hard on them that it'd be so wonderful, be trans.
Does the truth hurt? Does the truth hurt? Trans-identified males are
They're gonna physically attack
autogynephiles.
them.
Okay, whatever. No one cares. Go back.
You're a transvestite.
Go back.
Yes, I am, you fucking stupid bitch.
Yes, yes, you are AGP. Yes, you are AGP.
You have such bravery.
Your autogynephilia is raging, sir.
man. Wow, you're such a good man. Jesus Christ. Do you enjoy making people hurt? What's your home life like?
You guys gonna stalk me all the way up the block, right? Well, I'm gonna exercise my free speech by walking down the road. Sir, you're in my face.
This is a free sidewalk. Go
Okay,
around.
well, I'm gonna go around over here. That's fine.
Fucking traffic.
Trans women are autogynephiles. Trans ideology is evil.
What's your best one? What's the worst?
Castrating kids is wrong.
Okay.
You are on the wrong side of history.
Talking about ideology. Who's the idiot?
Your ideology is gender. Your ideology is gender. You subscribe to the false gods of gender. You castrate children in the name of your religion. Your religion is evil. I'm not going to respect a man with gynecomastia that thinks he's a woman, sir.
That you are not going to be heard in this city. This
city can hear me right now, baby. It's the United States of America. Freedom of speech. Trans-identified males are autogynephiles. Can I go in now? I'm so sorry. I'm a detransitioner that's supposed to be in there. Am I allowed to join?
Yeah, a lot of these trans-identifying guys really think they're little girls. You know, they're so sick. It's ridiculous. And in the past, they would have seen a doctor for that or something, get medication or been locked up or something. You know, so. Anyways, tell them the truth here.
Am I not allowed to join the event? Are detransitioners not allowed in the event? I was invited here by Brandy Cruz, by Jonathan Cho. But you're letting them in. You're making me stay out here as a detransitioner, even though I want to go in and my safety is at jeopardy. They're chasing me around the street. Okay, I'll keep doing what I'm going to do. Don't touch me, please. Oh, hey, Brian. Nice to meet you. They won't let me in there. I don't know. They want me to stay out here and goad them and be at risk. They think that I'm trans with them. They think I'm with them, and I put my life and name in jeopardy to call this shit out. But they won't let me in there.
Are you
Brandy Cruz? I'm Ari. I'm a detransitioner.
Sorry, we're just getting bombarded.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Ari.
You confess to Jesus, Lord. Jesus, their Lord.
I felt like I had to say something to get them to realize I wasn't on their side.
Out.
Okay. You're kicking me out. That's fine.
You stop recording. Go for it.
They want me to go back out here. They're kicking me out.
No. You're with Brandy, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
she's good.
I'm
I'm a gay man.
I'm trying to let him know. Stand by. Here, stand over here. Stand over here.
Christians are hypocrites. They're liars. She was lying, saying all of you were all volunteers when you're not.
Let her in.
Hey, Ari.
Yeah, let her in.
Now I'm with the pride flag.
Don't go black off your fucking chest, you motherfucking hypocrite.
LGB without the T.
She's good. She's good.
And you know what? This person, I can vouch for. We just don't want any. Good. I am not.
We got it, sir. We got it.
You're all going to burn hell.
Ready, bro? You want to cross the street and get them to come to us, or you want to do it here? Huh?
What's your intuition saying?
Let's go over there and make them come to us.
All right.
You want the megaphone first?
All of them that have talked to me and been on the channel and that told me this is a total cult. It's a total cult. They're so brainwashed that even when they're harmed by the surgeries, they will not speak against it.
Trans women are autogynephiles.
And to help push other ones to do
Transitioning children is evil. You are all participating in anti-gay eugenics. There is no such thing as a trans child. Trans people are made. They are not born.
Do you have any idea how many surgeries occur on children for transgender surgery?
My friend just lost her lawsuit when she had her breast removed at 13, sir. Yeah, double mastectomy. I don't care. Yeah. Surgical harm is surgical harm.
I'm talking about genital removal here.
Trans people are supporting gay eugenics.
Gay eugenics?
Trans-identified males are, in fact, men.
Why do you say that? You're such a fucking loser.
Autogynephilia is real. You pray to the gods of gender. You castrate children in the name of those gods. And you think you are on the right side of history. You are on the wrong side of history.
What does autogynephile mean?
It's a man's propensity to be sexually aroused by himself as a woman, i.e. 92.5% of trans women.
And the problem with that is?
My problem with that is? Yeah. I don't support castration cults in the name of public fetish, sir.
Public fetish?
That's right. Public fetish.
You call this a fetish?
Yes, I do. They are autogynephiles out in public advocating for the castration.
He's right. It is a sexual thing that they're doing, especially among the males. Now they're really trying to convince all women like that. And then guys playing in women's sports, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm so glad that Kamala Harris did not win, because this would have been even enforced even more onto our agencies and everything. So
of children in the name of getting their rocks off to the idea of being a woman.
The only person talking about children is you.
This is fun.
These are all adults with the free right to choose what they want to do with themselves. You're talking about children. Maybe you should go home and take care of your kids.
You cannot coerce consent from someone. You cannot get consent through deception. Regardless of the age of the individual, consent cannot be stolen through deception. Autogynephilia is real. Trans-identified males are men. Trans women are participating in the castration of children. Your ideology is evil. You pray to the gods of gender. The brown shirts are here. Free speech in America is dying.
Don't tell me what I am.
You are an autogynephile. Don't put your hands on me, people. Do not put your hands on me.
I don't have sex.
I'm crossing the street. I'm a free American. I will continue to express my right to free speech. You are violent brown shirts. You are communists. You are Marxists. You do not know what a woman is.
All true. And they're making tons of money off of it for the lifetime of these people, and they're dying young because of it. Watch how bad this gets. There's several other videos about this.
You are insane.
Stop using God to spew hate.
Oh my God, tranny on tranny violence right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Out of our fucking city.
What?
I said, oh my God, tranny on tranny violence right here in front of us.
Say it louder. So, you know you wearing pretty mass clothes. Charlie Kirk or...
I'm just a detransitioner telling the truth to power. You guys are the cult in charge of our society. You LARP is vulnerable while having full social power to bully and abuse anyone you want while walking around looking like this gentleman.
Stone Butch Blues wants to hit you fucking hard.
You guys do not have the right to put your hands on me. Calm down, sir.
He's right calling them all gentlemen. That's pretty much all gentlemen around her, even though they're dressed like women. Pretty much all of them.
Seems like you want to. You are not a woman, sir.
Oh, I'm not a woman?
You were born with a penis. You're not a woman.
What the fuck you? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but women are not born with dicks.
Go watch an nature documentary.
News flash.
Changes gender.
A woman is an adult human female.
That is God.
A woman is a human being who has grown to adulthood, whose reproductive system is organized around the production of large gametes. A woman is not an identity centered around sexist stereotypes.
What about intersex people?
Intersex is literally a DSD that runs from a fucking sex binary. It's a deviation. All people who are intersex are either male or female with deviation. Stop appropriating medical conditions. Stop appropriating medical conditions.
Watch how triggered and violent they get.
You have no other friends? Is that what it is? Are you just lonely?
Sir, you literally have tattoos on your face. I'm a married gay man.
Are you very...
No child is trans. No child is trans. No child is trans. LGB without the T. LGB without the T. LGB without the T. Trans is gay eugenics. Trans is gay eugenics. Trans is gay eugenics. No child is trans. No child is trans. No child is trans.
One's carrying that fake drawing of a coat hanger. I don't know what the hell that has to do with it. So it just gets bad.
No child is trans. No child is trans. No child.
Excuse me, I'm walking here.
No child is trans. 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 No child is trans.
There's no such thing as a trans child. I was diagnosed as a CSA survivor at 17 years old. They put me on a path of a lifetime of medicalization resulting in castration. Transgender ideology is a lie. They are misdiagnosing people. They are performing surgeries on children. This is evil.
It's pretty much all push so they can make money for the lifetime that they serve in the life.
Yeah, no, that's what I think. What if I told you that SRS reduces your life expectancy by 25 to 28 years? Well, that comes from multiple studies. Statistics are only wrong when you don't like them.
Who doesn't like it? I think you guys are.
Are you just
married gay man, sir?
I will take you to a rave. We'll show you love. I promise you that.
I don't want the love of autogynephiles. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I prefer to just stick with my husband.
You should talk to him. Bring him with you. It's all about
I'm
love.
definitely not going to expose my husband to an evil ideology.
It's not ideology.
It is an ideology.
You're
You
wearing
interpret everything through the lens of gender. A woman can be many things. A man can be many things. Men are not tied to sexist stereotypes. You can be a man in a dress. That doesn't make you a woman.
We're part of the community, not both.
I don't care. I don't care. That's fine. I know you don't care about me, but I'm an American. I have my rights. I was castrated in the name of your ideology, and I will call it out for what it is. Your mask isn't hiding your private shadow, honey.
I love you. I hope that you have a good day.
You are absolutely. You do not care. Y'all are separated from God.
One day you will see your hate. One day you will, I promise.
That's because your ideology castrated
You will
me.
see your hate one day, I promise.
I can't believe how sick these dudes are. They're so desperate to be little girls.
You will see God, but right now you're not.
Your God is gender. Your God castrated me by lies. I was lied to at 17 years by transgender ideology. I was lied to for 17 years by your castration cult.
I didn't do any of my own research. I came to this conclusion all on my own.
I don't hate myself. I love myself as a gay man, and I don't need gender to interpret
My
myself.
parents did not expose me to any trans stuff at all. I didn't know I was trans until I was 24 because of that.
That's probably
my
because
family,
of autogynephilia.
my family
Autogynephilia come out a
accepts
little
me
later, honey.
because God is love. My mom is a Christian. My nana is a Christian. My granddad is a Christian. I am a Christian, and you are exposing God to hate.
You are harming God's creation and mutilating it in the name of your religion.
And
You're
he's
not
also a
Christian.
dude.
No wonder you don't want to experience.
I don't see it. How could you be a Christian and cut your body up in the name of
I haven't
gender?
cut my body up.
I don't buy
I
it.
have everything that I was born with, and I'm still trans.
The anime PFP shirt is really just killing me, dude. I mean, it's the most autogynephilic shirt I've ever seen.
Bitch, suck my dick. You don't even know what you're talking about. You don't understand what you're talking about at
Maybe
all.
you need to go try to steal Christmas. Your heart can grow 3 sizes, and you can learn empathy.
Again,
the empathy is by calling you people out. You people want to castrate kids. You supported evil ideology. Empathy is caring about those who are mutilated in the name of your religion, in the name of gender.
He feels disempowered, and so he feels like
I'm talking about the mutilation of children in the name of your religion. I am anti-circumcision. Thank you, though. Nice.
John, aren't they really a cult? An absolute cult. They're so convinced they still have a penis, but yet they're a woman. Insane.
That's what's happening right here.
Oh, were you saying
even if they did cut their penis off?
I was
it
listening
does
to
not
them
make
either,
them a
so
woman.
like fair.
No, fair.
Yeah, very fair. 100%.
I thought I would capture all these clips.
No child is trans.
God is love.
No child is trans.
God is
Trans
love.
is fabricated.
God is
Transitioning
love.
was invented by Magnus
is
Hirschfeld in
love.
the 1920s.
God is love.
Transitioning is anti-gay eugenics. Transitioning is anti-gay eugenics. It was thought up by Havelock Ellis and Magnus Hirschfeld as a way to allow gays to escape fascist Europe. You guys are
Those are all dudes standing there.
supporting anti-gay eugenics.
God is love.
You lost your bracelet,
I
honey.
did lose my bracelet.
You know, this
Get out of our city, you
If they weren't on camera,
No.
they'd physically attack
You are not.
them.
Or you're not from
I
our
know,
city.
I'm
Which
not.
one?
Go stand
I
over
used to
there
work
and
for
be
Bernie.
peace with the world.
God is love. Stop spreading hate. God is love. God is
Trans women are autogynephiles. Trans is a lie. No child is trans. No child is trans. Trans people are made. Trans people are made. Trans identified males are autogynephiles. Trans identified males are autogynephiles. No child is trans. No child is trans. No child is trans. Trans people are made, not born. Trans people are made, not born. Trans people are made, not born. No child is trans. No child is trans.
God loves you. God loves you as you are. You are as God made you. And God loves you. Jesus is real, and he exists here. He's in this community. He is love. He
God
is
can
risen,
make
and he
trans.
is here, motherfucker, fighting against the goddamn
Doctors make
antichrist
it
like you.
trans.
Where are those
So they can
goddamn red
sell it.
hats? Like little Mussolini cosplayers. You fuck off.
Oh, they stole
Okay,
the
I'll get
phone.
another one. I gotta buy one of those from you.
I didn't realize they sold bullhorns to 5-year-olds.
Hey, Anna, it's Katie Davis. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
They stole my hat, ripped
I
up my
just
sign.
bought
I'm doing
it,
great.
We'll be posting.
Doing great.
So you're just surrounded. How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel like I'm combating a war against an evil ideology that castrates children.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a detransitioner who was medicalized 17 years ago by the lies of transgender ideology. My genitals were flayed and removed in the name of their religion, a religion of gender, which is basically an anti-gay eugenics program started by Magnus Hirschfeld in the 1920s.
Go back to whitest kids you know.
And now you're speaking out against people like that.
Yeah. And you know what? My friend just lost a lawsuit because of statute of limitations. She had a double mastectomy at 13 years old, realized it was a mistake at 17 years old, and she lost because of the statute of limitations. These people are advocating for loosening regulations that are already loose enough. People are being harmed, and no one cares because they cater to ideologues like this.
Listen to the mayor.
Violent ideologues.
They tried to shut this down.
Let me know if you're okay.
I'm good. Thanks.
I'm Katie. I'm with Marion News.
Nice to meet you. I need to sit down. I think we can get back in.
I feel sorry for you.
Kids, I saw her fucking eyes light
Did
up.
he just say he feels sorry for me?
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Throw it in the garbage.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, fuck common sense.
They ended up taking her phone and his phone and all that.
That is so much fun. It makes me feel so much better about it.
I'm not
What happened?
attention, so I'm trying to talk.
I'm a theater gay. I'm used to it.
Tell them.
Sorry.
I didn't expect any less. Do you need help with anything?
Can I get back in?
Yep, that's awesome.
Just a minute, please. Just a minute, please.
Thank you.
Their re-entry.
They're okay.
Do you want to come in again?
I'm just gonna sit down.
Thank you.
I'm no longer religious, more spiritual.
Transgender ideology is evil. Castrating children is evil. No child is trans. No child is trans. No child is trans. No child is trans. Trans people are made.
My friends, we have people gathering on the steps of Seattle City Hall today to protest Mayor Bruce Harrell and his statements condemning Christians as opposed to Antifa, where they are calling on him to resign or apologize for his ridiculous comments, and then trying to play the race card with claiming they're only targeting him because he's the first biracial mayor, the second black mayor. Yeah, dude, that's not going to fly. Nobody said anything about your race. You're the one who made it a racial issue. But the real issue at hand here, aside from his demonization of people of the faith, is also the fact that he put police officers in danger, because it seems like he took the side of Antifa against our very own police officers. And wasn't he the guy who ran on public safety? Joining us now to discuss on the Warrior Injury Law studio line, the president of the Seattle Police
I'm
Officers
so hoping
Guild,
there's a
Mike
red
Sullivan.
wave
Thanks
and
so
get
much
a
for
lot
being
of
with us
these
today.
real commies out.
All right, good to be back.
Now, as I understand it, some of your officers got injured this weekend because of this insanity, and yet you've got Bruce Harrell taking the side of Antifa?
Yeah, it's not surprising that that cops are being blamed again. And unfortunately, what ended up happening is that, to your point, cops got put into the hospital. And so we released a press release, I believe on Sunday. You can find it at SPOG at 1952 on X. That really details the public safety predicament. We call it, this is Seattle's public safety reality. And time again, our political leaders have abandoned police officers and used us as the tool and excuse for their woeful decisions and their pandering. And clearly the mayor didn't mention anything about the police, although we were put in an untenable position. Everything has to do with pandering so he can get reelected, period.
That's exactly what it seems like to me, because this is what he's been doing. And I went back and checked. He's been doing this since the Christmas tree lighting in December, where all of a sudden he came out, he's just supposed to light a tree, and he starts spouting all this progressive nonsense. And everybody's reaction at the time was, dude, this is a Wendy's. This is a Christmas tree lighting. What are we doing here? And it seems like ever since then, he's more worried about a challenge from the left, taking the right for granted, taking anybody in the middle for granted, because he's just so worried that the activists are going to vote him out in favor of somebody more progressive.
Well, that would be a bad thing for us because we're already out of a contract and we continue to hemorrhage more people. Like I mentioned in our press release, 28% of our current staff are eligible to retire. That's 280 people. We only have about 850 cops left that can answer 911 calls or do follow-up investigation work. If we think that this is going to go south, meaning more violence and more political pandering, not backing public safety, and taking the sides of who are acting in domestic terrorist ways, Antifa is who I'm talking about. Ari,
That's what they plan, though, on the left. The Communist Manifesto is to take us down until they can grab control. Could you see if there was no cops there at all, what would have happened to the Christians?
you're going to see another mass exodus of cops that are just had enough. And we detailed this in our press release. And we don't know what their plan is. I'm not sure if they have a plan. I'm just really, really concerned about our ability moving forward to provide safety at these demonstrations, let alone provide safety to adequate, reasonable 911 response, because every shift, every precinct, we are below minimum staffing levels for cops. So you talk about what happened on Saturday. If you look at the video, that show did a great job. But the cops that you see holding batons on their feet, those are task force patrol officers, meaning they were pulled out of patrol precincts to that protest. The bike team is the community response group. There's maybe, 25 people left? So you got to ask yourself, who's answering the 911 calls across the city?
Right.
If we're already at below minimum safe staffing levels and you've got these guys on the line, we're getting assaulted by Antifa and no mention from the mayor about the injuries on cops and the political spin on this thing. All right, we got to buckle up for a long, long summer.
Yeah. I'm concerned about that too, because it seems like what he did was basically say, I'm going to take the side of Antifa. I'm going to take the side of these radical activists against my own police department and against Christians in Seattle. Now, let's leave aside the religious angle. Let's leave aside the people who are at this rally for a minute. But basically what he did was, I'm going to take the side of the activists no matter what, even against our own police department. This is a guy who ran on public safety. And when you embolden the mob does crazy things. We saw what happened with Jenny Durkin in the summer of love of 2020. She gave them whatever they wanted. It was just, here, you want a police precinct? Have it. You want 6 blocks of the city? Have it. And what she did was she handcuffed officers from doing their jobs and also led to this massive exodus. And it looks like Bruce Harrell's doing the same thing again in order to win an election. And what, he's going to come back after that and say, oh, I'm all about public safety. I want to hire more police officers. I remember it was 2 months ago where he was saying, oh, we're doing such a good job hiring. And now he throws you guys under the bus.
Yeah, well, we have more applicants, but the reality is we're not getting a lot of people to want to be Seattle cops. The city does not care. We're out of contract now a year and a half. They continue to push for more calls for.
They're also hiring DEI.
The violent left.
They can't be white.
Dictate political terms in this city. We laid it out in our press release. You can go read it right now.
DEI hires 1952. Only. So you got to be trans to be hired.
I hear, hey, why don't you just resign? Well, you know what? Okay, we could just resign, but it's easier said than done. Some people are stuck. They've got families. They got bills to pay. The problem is that we would not be in this situation staffing-wise if our elected leaders led with courage and did the right thing, just in a moderate level. I'm not looking for a left wing. I'm not looking for a right wing. Give me somebody moderate, please. Can we stop pandering? The city, the future of this city is in jeopardy. And this police force, if we even lose another 100 people, Ari, it's over.
Yeah.
Buddy, we can't answer 911 calls. Bruce's team is pushing alternative forms of response, non-armed people, to handle the homeless problem. And we're bargaining at the table because of that reality. We just don't have the staff. Right. So I just don't know what the solution is. And we hear more pandering and doubling down. Buddy, that's what we deal with as a police union on a day-to-day basis, dealing with these feckless politicians.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody's feeling for you, especially because you got so many officers coming up on retirement. They may be all excited about these recruiting numbers, but they're not acknowledging the reality of the retirements coming up, the separations coming up, and everything you just told me in the last few minutes we have with Seattle Police Officers Guild President Mike Solon. So that was a pretty strongly worded statement. We know that the mayor's office has been trying to backtrack with the church through back channels. Did they reach out to you?
No. I think our press release says it all.
Wow.
Our press release says it all. And that's just antithetical of what we deal with. The bottom line is cops are, whomever's left, we're going to show. We're going to do the best we can to show up. I got people that I'm coaxing to volunteer for today's demonstration just to protect the public. I mean, it's like these people don't care. They don't understand. The political pandering and the fear of the woke mob is what drives decisions here. And those decisions, that acquiescing, that caving to that loud pressure, costs lives. And this is emblematic of the Chaz Chop experience where people died. I'm woefully afraid that that is going to occur this city in terms of the loss of life or people getting seriously hurt because we just don't have the resources to protect the public.
And clearly, Seattle officials did not learn the lessons of the past either, buddy.
No. And that's what's, to me, that's what's really stunning. Truly stunning.
Unbelievable.
And yeah, I mean, I hope I'm not coming across as hyperbolic. I'm just echoing our statement, the reality that's on the ground. Buddy, I'm almost done. I'm 51. I got a couple years left. I love this department, but I'm watching the good men and women continue to put the uniform on and who tell me they've got 10, 15 years left. It's easy to just try to go to a different agency, right? You got to pick up, you got to move, you got to go through a background check, you got to do all this and that. It's easier said than done. I'm still extremely proud of the men and women that continue to be police officers in the city. I admire them. I really do. I know I'm on the back nine of my career here, and I just feel sorry for the people that I got 15 years left. I'm like, man, I don't know what this is going to be like even past this summer.
Right. And people just don't
understand. I apologize getting emotional there, but man, I just don't understand this. It defies, let's just remove politics. It defies reality and common sense.
John, your son's the only one that's left that's white in the police department. That's not surprising, actually. That's what their goal is. And then if they can have commie police, we're done.
Yeah,
it's stunning what's happened to this city.
Yeah. And what's even worse is that now we had a politician who claimed he was all about public safety, ran on public safety, said he was all about public safety, and now seems willing to go back in time just to win an election. So your choice is really between one anti-police person who's very clear that she's anti-police and a guy who pretends to be pro-police when it helps him get elected and then takes the other side when he thinks that is going to help him get elected. And who's caught in the middle? The police officers. Who's caught in the middle? The public. Everybody's at risk because of this political pandering, and that's super dangerous, as we saw in 2020 and since then in its aftermath. Seattle Police Officer Guild President Mike Solon, thanks so much for being with us today, buddy. You stay safe, and all your officers should stay safe as well.
Thanks, Ari. Appreciate it, buddy.
We got a whole lot more to discuss as the show continues. You're listening to the Ari Hoffman Show on Talk Radio 570 K.
So you were just surrounded. How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel like I'm combating a war against an evil ideology that castrates children.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a detransitioner who was medicalized 17 years ago by the lies of transgender ideology. My genitals were flayed and removed in the name of their religion, a religion of gender, which is basically an anti-gay eugenics program started by Matt Mansfield in the 1920s.
Go back to whitest kids you know.
and now you're speaking out against people like them.
Yeah. And you know what? My friend just lost a lawsuit because of statute of limitations. She had a double mastectomy at 13 years old, realized it was a mistake at 17 years old, and she lost because of the statute of limitations. These people are advocating for loosening regulations that are already loose enough. People are being harmed, and no one cares because they cater to ideologues like this.
Well said.
Your body make the inside of the vaginal canal. It is disgusting. It's Frankenstein. This is not medical science. It's not even a medical experiment, given that there are no controls.
Watch it.
Here's someone experimenting on people.
Your megaphone's upside down, dipshit.
There you go. There we go. All right. Excuse me, sir. Didn't mean to run into you.
Excuse me.
There's no such thing as a trans child.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. No, there is not.
Yes, there is.
No, there is not, ma'am.
Yes, there
No,
is.
ma'am, there sure isn't.
I will not be intimidated.
There sure is not, ma'am. No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there
It
is.
was invented in the 1920s. It's anti-gay eugenics, dear.
Seattle.
There is such thing as a transgender child.
No, there's not.
There's ones
No,
that
there's
have been
not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Here's your
taught
proof.
this.
It was invented by
BS.
Magnus Hirschfeld and Havelock Ellis in the 1920s as a way of allowing gender non-conforming gays to escape fascism. Look up the fathers of transsexualism.
Fascist tool. She's just trying
There's
to
no
bait
such
you.
thing as a trans
She's
child.
just trying to bait you.
It's anti-gay eugenics. Also, I'm a gay man.
Your God hates you. You're not welcome here. Go home.
This is my
Don't
home.
take her bait. All she wants to do is inflict
All he
violence.
wants to do. A man cannot become a woman, people. Men cannot.
John, since he's hired there, since Trump has got in, I hear that they're getting a lot more recruits and people coming in. Is that what he's seeing? And their motivation's a lot better now.
Become women. Trans women are autogynephiles. Men cannot become women. Men cannot become women. Transition is a lie. Transition is a lie. Men cannot become women. Men, you want to castrate children. You're disgusting, man. You're disgusting, ma'am. You support the castration of kids. Get over yourself. Crazy trans ideologues. Crazy trans ideologues. Oh, so sad. So sad.
That's what you do. You give up on people's pain. That's real Christian of you.
I wonder why they try so hard to keep it from filming now.
Excuse me, this is a
Watch how
public
much they
street,
try
ma'am.
to cover up the filming.
Whoa!
Watch how bad it gets.
Whoa.
At that point right there, they'd taken his phone.
You wish you could. Back up. Back up. Back up. Hey, you're getting out of line, bud.
And all these trans people and trans supporters came to hate on Christians. Why couldn't they just let the Christians have their thing? All this stuff happened because they were trying to stop the Christians from having this thing in Seattle.
Another Antifa militant arrested here right now.
And John, I didn't understand that about the 2A thing. Look at how much they covered their face and everything.
Katie, what happened with the arrest, guys? Did you see what happened with the arrest?
That's the guy who hunted me down. I'm about to post it, but they all hunted me down. Seattle police had to save me. I don't know if. Hey, why was that guy arrested?
Ski mask. Why was Ski Mask arrested? I'm not sure. He said that he needed to be arrested.
Okay, that's the guy who hunted me down.
Okay. Well, clearly there's a contingent out here waiting for everybody, so. All right.
DB, let's go! It's so crazy! It's so crazy!
We made it out. We made it out.
It got bad near the end when they were trying to get out.
Not whores! Trans people are paid! Not whores! No child! Stop trans hate! Stop trans hate!
The civil rights movement.
Let me finish this message. I'm not sure if I'm on camera or not. Okay, where am I here?
You in pursuit? Go back. No, go back. Go back.
Okay,
Turn around and go back. Turn around and go back. Turn around and go back. Go back. Go back. Go the fuck around. Coming this way. Go back.
Where are you trying to get?
What's that?
Where are you trying to get?
It's none of your business yet.
Well, no, I'm trying to help you get there.
It don't matter. He ain't gonna run up in here.
Yeah, if you're trying to get inside, they're having to go around and in.
Yeah, they're trying to block them from getting in. And they did prevent a lot of people from getting in. They were throwing a lot of stuff at them and everything.
If it was both original, they came into the center of the group and incited the violence, and one of the counter protesters was
See how many people they were trying to stop from getting there? Commies in there. They did cut down on the number of people that did go, but there was a lot of brave patriots, Christians, that went there.
Oh, this is what we doing in Seattle.
So Katie, was getting chased. She ended up towards the top of the hill.
And now they out here with guns, getting ready to
And they have a thing of stealing stuff from you, phones, and that kind of stuff. That's the love.
Oh my God. That's Meal Team 6. Meal Team 6 is back out.
Look at that one.
This is the Antifa activist who targeted me. Has clearly transitioned to a female now. Wow.
That's a dude, a real heavy dude. And one with it right there. That's the one that steals a lot of stuff. With a black umbrella. And it's a he. Pretend to be a she. A very fat she. Dude. Well, being that heavy, you do have man boobs. Some of them are pure evil.
I made a joke on my show the other day, and it was about something
There is some
unrelated, but maybe
overlap
this
on
would be the
these.
first year I'd go to church. And I got 10 feet in, and a woman over here saw me, and she said, Brandy, you know this counts as church, right? Yeah. So I guess I did go to church for the first time. I'll tell you, I've experienced a few firsts. I used to work in TV news in Seattle. I do an independent show now, but I've been covering protests in the city for 15 years, going back to the Occupy movement, through BLM, through what we saw in 2020, and I've experienced a few firsts today. First time I've ever heard protesters chant SPD in a good way. SPD, 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 SPD.
That's the cops there.
That does not happen. That does not happen. Second first, I have never seen Antifa so truly defeated. They're super sad out there. Super sad. The third first, and this is the most important, I have never been at a protest in 15 years where I did not hear speakers utter one word of hate, one word of judgment, make one call to violence. I have never experienced a crowd with the absolute happiness as the crowd right here. You have no idea how weird it is for me to stand on a stage and have people chant Jesus while I'm up here. Super strange. I did want to talk briefly about the media and the coverage that happened over the weekend. I used to work with all these people. I like a lot of them personally. I was incredibly disappointed by the coverage and what happened over the weekend and the way that they treated all of you. And I'll tell you, I'm not a Christian, but I know the difference between right and wrong. I know the difference between a truth and a lie. You know what I don't see here? I don't see right-wing extremists. I don't see bigots. And I don't see, what do the Times call it? Fascist family values. And I hope the media takes that seriously, because what it's going to do is fan the flames of division and violence as we head into the 5th anniversary of the worst political violence this city has ever seen. Speaking of violence, none of it in here, but there's been some outside by the people preaching tolerance and love. I want to point out two friends of mine, Ari and Arian. Can you wave? I talk a lot about hypocrisy. Both of them were born men, decided at some point in their lives to transition to identify as women. Both of them have since detransitioned. And both of them were just assaulted by the people outside. Of course they were. That is not love, and it's not tolerance. And so I hope that in the media. And I want you all to know, I've had my producers up here somewhere, Nicole. Oh, and Jason Rance is here. I had heart palpitations all morning because I personally went through a lot in the summer of 2020 during the riots on Capitol Hill. And I felt over the weekend the same atmosphere brewing, the same hate, the same anger, the same vitriol. What you guys are doing tonight, I think will stop that in its tracks. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being peaceful. Thank you for supporting SPD. Keep it up.
Oh, give it up for Brandy.
I think if we give her enough time, she might turn into a preacher. So you just never know.
Speaking of violence, none of it in here.
Oh, I love you. They love me. Where's Sean Scott? This guy, the soy boy's challenging me. The soy boy's challenging me. You got like 50 guys. I'm one dude.
So they're clearly rescuing this family with kids who is trying to get in or out of the event. And now he's saying Jesus loves you to the crowd that was trying to hurt him and his children. And the police are like, please go. Were you guys leaving the event? Or you were trying to get into the event? I didn't know where the entrance was. I'm so sorry. So those people were trying to get into the event, and the crowd went after them.
We wish you could. Back up. Back up. Back up. Hey, you're getting out of line behind me.
Here we go. Having a isn't what makes you a boy. Having a isn't what makes you a girl. The truth is much more interesting than that. Only boys and girls. What about the rest of us? Maybe you're called a boy, but you know you're a
And they're putting this in our school books.
girl. Maybe you're called a girl, but you feel you're a boy. Part of being a kid is learning what you like and don't like.
Think about how damaging that is to tomboys.
It's so insidious. This talks about touching other people. It says, do you like to be touched or do you not like to be touched? So basically, if you like the touch, then you should go for it. If you don't like the touch, then you should not go for it, which is, again, super insidious to say, well, if you like how something feels, then it must be a good feeling. Molesters use that approach all the time.
Absolutely. And kids confuse that attention that they naturally want, and the groomers and the molesters use that in that kind of way.
That's a dude, by the way. That's a dude. There's a little overlap on these. That crowd would have been about triple if it wasn't for Antifa in there. This is in Seattle, downtown Seattle. Of course, the mayor called them all racist. Racist, Nazis, transphobes. They didn't have anything. They went to have a thing, and the trans showed up. Antifa.
Just stay right there.
What was this arrest for?
Peel him off the wall. What's up, guys?
Off the wall. Back up on the street.
You can go off to the side. You'll be out of the way. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, staying on the street.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell is this?
On the back of the head and pushed me into a wall. They cornered me up against the wall and I was surrounded by Antifa. I was trying to get between them. My camera fell on the ground and a member stole it and ran off. The cops had to chase him down. The cop told me that after he got my camera, he was trying to get my camera. They assaulted the officer as well and they were arrested.
Can you stop putting your fucking hands off me, you pieces of shit?
This is where they wouldn't let their family in. They wouldn't let them through to get to the event. Look at them all masked up. There's that trans guy pretending he's a woman. He ends up getting arrested. That's the one he was arguing with earlier.
Fuck you, pigs! Fuck you, pigs!
That's a dude.
Are you gonna do push me again? Already proving you're gonna do it. What's your name? What's your name?
Show us your face.
What's your name?
See, it's a dude with a beard, and they think they're a woman. It's ridiculous.
Back.
I'm not touching you.
Stay back.
Stay back, Katie. Katie, you're seriously scaring me.
What's
Katie.
that?
I'm not touching you. Bye. Bye.
They're pushing people out of there.
Over there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. You're just gonna stand there for
I can't imagine the cops work there.
This isn't worth your time. Focus in on what is, okay?
What is that doing? Not much. We're standing there.
Focus. Why is antagonizing two people?
No. All right, make a choice now.
Well,
we keep coming out here and putting officers in this situation.
Have a bird's eye view.
We need to
Let's just go
stop.
back inside.
Okay, we'll go back inside. Don't touch me.
Oh, she's scared. You're scared. You came to our city, bitch. You came to our home. Go home. Go
Yeah. Thanks.
Ain't no wrong with Christian hate. False prophets here.
Do not interfere with the police while they are making arrests. If you interfere with the police, you'll be arrested. Move away. We encourage you to film. We encourage you to film. We just ask you that you give the officers some safe working space. So please move away from the officers while they are making arrests. We want you to film. We just want you to give them some space for a safe working environment. Standing on top of the police is not a safe working environment. Please give them a little more space. We encourage you to film. We want you to film. But please give the officers space while they're doing their job. Our intent here is to get back to a normal First Amendment event.
Antifa is mostly trans.
The only way we're going to interfere is if criminal acts are committed, or if you interfere with the police taking action. Our purpose here is to make sure that this is a safe event for everybody and keep the streets clear.
Get them to Blanco, motherfuckers! Nobody likes you here! This fucking neighborhood would kill you if we had the chance! Get the fuck out of here, pigs! Go fucking die! And guess what? When you fucking
And they use those umbrellas as weapons.
Make arrests for criminal acts without interfering with them doing their job. It was our intent to have a safe, peaceful First Amendment event. However, there are criminal acts that were committed within the crowd. We'd like to return to a First Amendment event without any criminal act. So we ask that you don't interfere with the officers.
Get the fuck out of here, bitch! God, fuck you!
See why the cops quit all the time, I tell you that.
Keep moving.
They're all masked up, you can tell, pretty much, if they're leftists. They're going to harm their immune system by wearing masks all the time. The one with the red hair is the doodah.
Oh, you won't do it.
I'm trying to be a woman.
We appreciate the media. We value their focus. We did talk about time again. We just asked for the officers to say what we're saying.
Yeah, you're right, John, about the backpack stuff. Oh, I left the page there.
Churches from across the region united for a public worship service at Cal Anderson Park in the heart of downtown Seattle. And this event was permitted and organized by a team of folks, including our good friends Jenny Donnelly and Ross Johnston and the Don't Mess With Our Kids movement that just a few months ago mobilized one of the largest gatherings of Christians on the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
You're right, John.
Whether you know it or not, Cal Anderson Park has a storied history. It's named after Washington State's first openly gay legislature, who tragically died of AIDS in 1995. Cal Anderson Park, of course, was also the epicenter of Chaz during the COVID lockdowns and ensuing riots that took place in Seattle in the summer of 2020. During that 24-day occupation of that park and the surrounding neighborhoods, chaos and violence ensued at unprecedented levels. And millions of dollars in damage was done, lives were lost, businesses were robbed, people were assaulted, and the East Precinct Seattle Police Station was overrun. In the end, the homicide rate in the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone turned out to be nearly 50 times greater than the city of Chicago. I guess it wasn't the summer of love that our political leaders said it would be.
He's talking about what
Cal
happened 5 years
Anderson
earlier.
Park has a history, but more importantly, the city of Seattle has a future. And for that reason, we rallied at that park and worshiped our God, praying and believing that Jesus is not yet done with the Emerald City. Now, over the last few weeks, violent agitators from in and around our region caught wind of this planned and permitted event and decided to rally their people for a counter demonstration at the same park and at the same time. Antifa was there. The Revolutionary Communists of America was there. The pro-Hamas protesters were there. People without clothes were there.
Pretty much all the same thing.
The people who still wear masks 3 years after COVID has ended were there. But at the end of the day, it really didn't matter because the Church of Jesus Christ was there first, and greater is He who is in us than he that is in the world. Now, hear me, friend. I believe in the First Amendment, and I believe in the right of everyday Americans to protest in support of ideas that they appreciate or in opposition to ideas that they find objectionable. But it was clear from the very beginning of our worship service that the other side was not interested in a reciprocal First Amendment demonstration, but instead a violent confrontation with people who they consider to be their enemies for the high crime of thinking different about matters of public policy. And to top it all off, after the worship event was over, after communion had been taken, after the gospel had been preached, after free bikes and haircuts had been given away, after face painting and prayer booths had shut down, after the park had been cleaned up by those who had attended the rally, after riot police lined up to form passageways for the safe exit of women and children, the mayor of Seattle had the audacity to put out a press statement blaming the church for the violence that ensued. Because we, quote, promoted beliefs that are inherently in opposition to the city's values. No duh. Furthermore, the mayor then instructed the Parks Department to essentially deny future permits to people of faith for worship-related events at public parks in the future. Let me be clear. Bruce Harrell, the mayor of Seattle, owes Christians in Washington State an apology for his bigoted remarks after folks who were holding a peaceful worship event were violently assaulted. for the high crime of expressing their deeply held religious beliefs in the form of a permitted worship event on city property. In total, 23 Antifa thugs were arrested. Police officers were hospitalized. Church people were assaulted. And the mayor of Seattle has the audacity to blame Christians for the violence. Nothing could be more demonic and untrue. Let me be clear. The city of Seattle is plagued by chronically inept political leadership, and the current administration is no exception. Since the mayor took office in 2021, homicide is up 26%, rape is up 12%, motor vehicle theft is up 38%, and drug deaths are up an astonishing 89%. Businesses are leaving town at record rates. Taxes have been raised to record levels, as homelessness and addiction litter the streets. Today, Seattle is consistently ranked as one of the nation's least safe cities as lawlessness has become the norm. Since Bruce Harrell was elected mayor in 2021, his administration has been plagued by scandal after scandal. From allegations of sexism, misogyny, and a toxic work environment to constant cover-ups of sexually illicit behavior from several of his top aides. And to top it all off, the mayor himself was arrested on weapons and assault charges prior to running for public office. Why? Because he pulled a gun on a woman who was 8 months pregnant because he was upset she took his parking spot.
That won him all the way when he got elected.
Before the mayor decides to blame the church for the chaos in Seattle, he ought to take a long, hard look in the mirror. The church isn't the problem. It's the solution to a city that, by virtue of corrupt political leadership, has found itself on a fast track to hell. But Fred, we say today, not on our watch. The Emerald City may have lost her shine, but the church hasn't lost her hope. And if it's revival or we die, I choose revival. By the time that worship event ended, it was front page news on Como 4, King 5, Cairo 7, Q13 Fox, the Linwood Times, KVI 570, KTTH 70, and My Northwest News, just to name a few. And I love what the Seattle Times had to say on the front page story that they ran about this event. They said this, and I quote, "On stage, various musicians played Christian music with lyrics such as day and night, night and day, let incense arise." The same Seattle Times that turned down our ads for Easter because it was too controversial. The same Seattle Times that turned down our ads to celebrate the overturning of Roe versus Wade because it was too controversial. God has a way for those same Seattle Times reporters to now print the lyrics to the worship songs we sing on Sunday on the front page of that newspaper. With lyrics such as day and night, night and day, let incense arise. With amplified music and people walking around with ID passes around their necks, it looked very much like a rock concert. And in the crowd, those attending raised their hands in praise. Yeah, I got messages from as far away as Ireland and Australia, encouraging the church in Seattle to take a stand and not back down.
I agree, John. I agree.
And I'm happy to report that late last night,
got fired too.
I received information that this news story has made its way all the way to the office of the Attorney General of the United States. The days of anti-Christian bigotry in Washington State are coming to an end.
I sure hope so. I hope it turns red.
Welcome back, everybody. What you're looking at there is Trantifa rioters with Antifa going after a Christian worship event in Seattle. They get a permit to worship in the park, and lo and behold, these Antifa goons come in full force. Well, there's another protest going on. The man who shot that video is Jonathan Cho. He is with Turning Point USA's Frontlines. He is in this protest right now. Jonathan, I want to welcome you to the program. I know it's a little bit of a dicey situation. Why don't you take me through what's going on right now where you are, my friend?
Antifa goons, 3 people arrested. I had to smash a guy in the head who grabbed my shoulder and tried to tackle me. But if you look behind me right now, that is Seattle City Hall. You have more than 100 far-left activists and Trantifa members who are trying to counter-protest the Christians. The Christians are here targeting Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell for the way he handled this weekend's Christian concert. Harrell essentially called the peaceful Christian rally a far-right extremist rally, and that's why the Christians are here. In the meantime, Trantifa's out, again, counter-protesting them, so it's like a powder keg right out here. And this rally hasn't even started, Grant. This thing's supposed to start at 5 p.m. I'm going to give you a 360 view right now. This is downtown Seattle. It would be busy during rush hour traffic right now, but SPD shut down several streets just to mitigate the situation from, again, spiraling out of control. But I'm sorry to be late for this live hit on your show right now. It's because 3 guys tackled me. Thank God SPD swarmed them, saw my video, because the far-left activists initially accused me of assaulting them. That is the type of dynamic we're dealing with here in Seattle. The gaslighting is out of control.
Jonathan, you, Andy, know a few others. These Antifa goons, they know who you are, right? I mean, how dangerous is it for you to show up and even start filming this stuff?
Yeah, I found out once again the hard way. I've been doing this in Seattle now for 6 years. I worked for Como News, the ABC affiliate here, for 2 years. Now I'm independent, working for, outfits like Turning Point. And at this point, everyone knows who I am on the streets. I'm a constant target, so I have to, again, wear sunglasses. I'm in a hoodie right now for a reason. I can't be in my TV news outfit with my 3-piece suit. But again, I've already been outed, so I'm trying to lay low right now before this rally starts. A lot of officers here, so I'm not that concerned once I'm near the Seattle police officers behind me. But once I get into that crowd, if SPD opens up the streets to protesters, that's when it can get kind of crazy. But right now, the situation is relatively contained. There are metal barricades around Seattle City Hall. The rally at 5 p.m. today is being organized by hundreds of evangelical Christians who feel like Mayor Bruce Harrell essentially sold them out, calling them far-right extremists when they were peaceful this weekend, and Antifa and the militants essentially caused havoc and chaos, leading to violence, leading to multiple arrests. And for the record, none of the Christians this weekend were arrested.
People got to know around the country, though.
All right, well, that's good news. Jonathan, let me read Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell's statement. So for everybody out there knows, this was a Christian worshiping event. Were they talking about trans activists targeting kids? Yes, the Christians were.
I hear you, John.
That's their right, and they weren't doing anything violent. So
public street, man. Shut up, man. Shut your mouth, son.
let's go back to Jonathan real quick, please.
You're gonna get hurt. Yo, Grant, I got this knucklehead behind me trying to harass me. This thing is out of control. I can stay for a few more minutes if you need.
He's wearing the mask.
Cut loose. Forgive me for that, but I got some morons swarming me.
Jonathan, the moment you feel like you need to go, you go, because we want you to be safe. That's first and foremost. Are you near police, and is this typical what this guy is doing to you?
this happens regularly at these protests. Thankfully, again, this rally hasn't even started yet, but I want to give you a quick look, Grant. I don't know if you can see your audience. There are two levels right now. You've got on the street level, the far left activists. Then on the stage at City Hall, you have the Christians. Right now, they have the flags with a cross on them. They have signs saying Bruce is the bigot. Praise Jesus. Those signs. And again, I'm going to point up right now. That is Seattle City Hall. The fourth floor is the mayor's office. If he's in his office right now, he can presumably see everything that's happening on the ground right now.
Jonathan, one of the terms that's now started to be used often is Transtifa, not just Antifa, but Transtifa. What are we talking about when we use those terms?
Well, as you recall, 5 years ago when Antifa really started to rear its ugly head here in the Pacific Northwest during the BLM riots, you just had these kids, dressed up in black ninja outfits, essentially black bloc. But now with transgender issues in the news, you've got Antifa now merging with transgender activists, hence the name Trantifa. So they're essentially now getting each other's backs. The trans activists are pushing their message. Meanwhile, Antifa essentially functions as their bodyguards.
Yeah. It's amazing stuff. I'm going to let you go, Jonathan. Make sure you stay safe. Keep us posted. It's tremendous work. We really do appreciate you coming on and sharing some time with us as you start to expose all this stuff. And thank you.
Yeah, I wish more mainstream media and guys like you can continue to platform what's happening, because the rest of America has no clue what's happening here in Seattle. Yeah. Thanks again, Grant.
Absolutely, Jonathan. And anything you get, you let us know and we'll put you right on right away. So let me read this to you. This was the Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell's statement. Okay. He said, quote, "Today's far-right rally," this is talking about over the weekend, "was held here for the very reason to provoke a reaction by promoting beliefs that are inherently opposed to our city's values in the heart of Seattle's most prominent LGBTQ plus neighborhood." And he went on to say they were today's far-right rally. This is about First Amendment rights. Apparently, the mayor of Seattle has no idea what the First Amendment actually means. You get a permit to preach, to literally praise Jesus, the Lord's teachings. Not anything violent, not anything mean, not anything out of the ordinary. And to be attacked by Transtifa and Antifa goons, and then you're going to come out and slam the preachers? Something is really wrong in Seattle, as Jonathan Cho has just shown us there, as even he gets attacked right before the live shot. So again, he goes to great lengths to get us this information. We're grateful to him for all of that.
Actually, he gets tackled.
Let's take a quick break, folks. But first, before a quick note from our sponsor: are you tired of the lies, high taxes, and being?
Don't even come near me. I'm here to cover it. Not your community. Why? What do you mean, why? What were they doing Saturday, dog? What are they doing Saturday, dog? Oh, you're not time to tell people what's the drink, what's happening. Hey! Get fucking action, you bastard! Get the fuck back! Get the fuck back! Hey, police! This guy just fucking assaulted somebody. Get down! That guy was hit by that guy. He assaulted me. I'm a witness. Jonathan Cho is a fucking liar. He assaulted me. He insulted me. You got it on video. Step back. Look at his face.
Joe, you okay?
I'm okay, man. If I didn't defend myself, 2 against 1. That's how they play. They're unfair. 2 against 1.
Oh, wow. Actually 3.
And you're gonna bring it back. This guy just fucking assaults someone. You're bringing it back.
What's he wearing a helmet for?
This guy right there. I got it all on video. Absolutely.
That guy.
The one pretending to be a woman.
I'm not involved in this. It was that guy. Wrong guy.
What are you fucking doing? Holy shit.
Wrong guy.
Back up, please. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Hey, man, what did I do? Hey, what did I do?
Back up.
Hey, it was that guy that assaulted.
What did I throw next to?
You guys have the wrong guy.
Move back. Go to the sidewalk.
Get on the sidewalk. Especially when you didn't. I just saw that.
Step back on the sidewalk. Mask. He definitely
on the sidewalk, out of the street, on the sidewalk.
There was actually 3 altogether that originally attacked him.
To your left. Yep, here we go. Here we go. It's got a face on it, so we know who they are.
I pulled their mask down like someone else said in the chat. I would pull their mask down for sure.
You want to know what's going on? Okay, so you know.
When they start checking their pockets, they often find weapons or stuff they can use as weapons.
And so what happened was Antifa and a bunch of leftists came over to try.
Crazy arrest now.
This was earlier.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, backing up, backing up. Backing up.
Even before the event.
Multiple arrests.
Thing is, they don't hold
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people arrested.
They're out
Multiple
within,
Antifa militants. Maybe another one here.
Sometimes they come back to the event and get arrested.
Yep, behind the bikes. Hey, who are you? Any comments, sir? What's going on here?
The mayor lets them go.
That's all we're doing. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's the latest from SPD right now. The men and women of SPD doing their job. Think about the risks they're taking right now, just trying to keep the peace here at Cal Anderson Park. Again, today started off with a peaceful Christian rally to stand with children against transgender ideology.
Oh, I think this was
dozens of Antifa militants dressed up in black bloc now trying to disrupt, pushing cops, fighting. Absolutely insane melee here right now. There are brawls happening. I can't keep track of what's happening, what's where. This is all being live streamed.
Sometimes they'll let the fight itself too.
Guys, we got a huge brawl going on. Antifa and police. I know you're following. We got arrests happening right now. Antifa militants. Multiple people being arrested right now. Get out of here. Police Antifa. Wow, we got some arrests.
Sometimes I wish I had been there.
Antifa militants being arrested now. Wow. We're going to have dozens of arrests
Even
today.
being close
Guaranteed.
to 70, I would have stood up to him. Tried my best. I used to fight in boxing and wrestling. This is the week before where they followed some people leaving the event out and tried to attack them, but the cops were there. Now watch them try to go around and attack them from the other side.
Imagine if a rifle shot you in the head. You'd be so beautiful, Dad.
Go back to your allowing.
There's some overlap on these, but different angles and stuff.
Don't fucking touch it! Get off of him! Help him! Help him! He's hurt! Please help him! Get your friends off of him, man! Get off of him! Get off of him! Fuck off!
You wish you could. Back out with. Back up. Back up. Hey, you're getting out of line, bud.
All right, what's up, Cam?
What happened?
Basically, I was covering this beginning of this rally here outside of City Hall, and 3 Antifa activists started swarming at me. One of the guys grabbed my shoulders. I just cleared the area, and thank God there are tons of officers, and it looks like they just made the arrest. And I got it all on video, of course. Good. And the far-left activists are blaming me. Imagine if I didn't have video. If I didn't have video rolling all the time, I could be getting locked up right now.
Now Bob Ferguson gets to trot out there, say he's fulfilled his chief campaign promise. 80% of the state will just believe that, the passive news consumers. And he'll get to hang his hat on that like he's pro-cop.
Is it better now, John?
And at the end of this, we might not even have a single new police officer funded with this money. It's just going to fund progressive wish list items again. I mean, what a slap in the face. And every time I think I can't possibly be more disappointed with him and disappointed with Democrats and progressives for their lying and their gaslighting, something like this. I mean, something we genuinely need that should be a nonpartisan issue. One of Bob Ferguson's very first ads when he was running for governor was this one.
50th, dead last. Washington has the lowest number of law enforcement officers per capita of any state. That's unacceptable. As governor, I'll fix it.
Yeah. Okay. As governor, I'll fix it. What are you going to do? Now, I said after that ad, after he made the same promise in his inaugural address, that this is not a problem you can throw money on. We didn't get to this position overnight where people don't want to be a cop in Washington State. It took years and years of degrading our law enforcement professionals, Bob Ferguson and his office politically prosecuting police officers for murder, Seattle and the rest of the progressives around the state pushing police defunding. It took a very long time to get to a place where the city of Seattle is 600 to 700 officers short. So things are bad. And I've said that respect is the biggest currency that's going to get us out of this situation. Making law enforcement officers believe and truly having their back and respecting the difficult job that they do, and not using your power and influence and lawmaking ability to hinder their ability to keep our communities safe. Doesn't mean you let them go out there and run rampant, right? There have to be some regulations and rules and expectations, and nobody disagrees with that, but the vilification has to stop. And also, we have to have leaders with a track record of not vilifying officers, of having their back. Bob Ferguson blows with the wind. One day he's prosecuting unsuccessfully police officers for murder. The next day he's running a campaign ad as governor saying that he's going to help hire more cops. And we called it, you guys called it too, all along. Is like, no, he'll leave office. We'll still be last in the nation for police officers per capita. But he made the promise anyway. And at the end of the day, if you're a police officer and you're going to work in a state like Washington that doesn't respect you, you might as well get more money, right? So on the surface, fine. I don't believe Bob Ferguson. I don't believe he respects law enforcement. But if he wants to set aside $100 million in the budget to be able to bring more law enforcement officers into our communities, which we desperately need, then by all means, I guess, let's just understand who it's coming from. So the vessel for that policy was House Bill 2015 to actually push through the policy and the grant program, what it will look like, what the requirements will be. So Bob signed that law into law today. And of course, he used it to take a victory lap on fulfilling a key campaign promise. Here he is this morning.
In my inaugural address, I made a promise that this legislative session, we must provide significant funding to hire more law enforcement officers in our state.
Actually,
we ranked last, 50th per capita in number of law enforcement officers. That needs to change. I pledge to work with both sides of the aisle to ensure this critical funding made it through the legislature. I'm so pleased to have House Bill 2015 before me now to help address this situation.
Okay. So again, if you are a passive news consumer, what have you heard? You've heard Bob make this promise on the campaign trail. You've heard Bob make this promise during his inaugural address. And you'll probably hear on the evening news tonight, Bob giving a speech, patting himself on the back with a few uniformed members of law enforcement around him. So that's what you'll hear as a passive news consumer. And so what will you believe then as a passive news consumer? Well, you'll believe that Bob Ferguson supports law enforcement. He wants our communities to be more safe. And he's helped get $100 million to hire more police officers. Only to find out that that's not true. That's not what the bill does. In fact, we have now learned, and again, I take blame for this. I don't know why I didn't know this sooner, because I mean, I've been harping on this already, but I would have been harping on it to a much larger extent for the past few months. So it turns out that the way this grant program is structured, there is no guarantee in it that even a penny of the $100 million goes to hiring police officers. Listen to me sound like I'm surprised. Listen to me sound like I'm surprised. This is the problem, Brandy. Why are you surprised? You should have been skeptical to begin with. So the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs was the first sort of indication that I got that this wasn't what it was being sold as. So they put out in a press release, I'll just read part of it for you. While we recognize the positive elements of House Bill 2015, it is not, quote, $100 million for law enforcement hiring. In its final form, and after many revisions, it would actually allow the full $100 million to be spent without hiring a single new officer. If a community chooses to implement a local sales tax increase allowed by this bill, hiring may include not only law enforcement officers and behavioral health professionals, but also devote funds to emergency management planning, environmental hazard mitigation, security personnel, community outreach and assistance programs, alternative response programs, and mental health crisis response. The legislation also requires applicants to comply with reporting and training programs that have not even been implemented by the state. So I saw that and I said, what? How did I miss that? So I looked back at the bill, and as they said, there's been a lot of revisions in the legislature. So engrossed substitute House Bill 2015, indeed, if you read the whole thing. So it says it's a grant program for the purpose of providing direct support to local and tribal law enforcement agencies in hiring, retaining, and training law enforcement officers, peer counselors, and behavioral health personnel working in co-response to increase community policing and public safety. Peer counselors? Look, I'm not saying there's not a place for peer counselors and behavioral health personnel, but that's not what this was sold as. This was sold as hiring cops. There's a big difference between a cop with a gun who can respond to a life and death emergency and a peer counselor. And there is no, for cities, and this gets worse, there is no for cities any requirement that, hey, this much of the grant has to be spent towards a police officer versus a peer counselor or a behavioral health professional or whatever it might be. No, they can get the money and turn around and just hire peer counselors. Or as the Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs said, use it on emergency management. Any number of things. So that's part of the lie. Here's the other part. So it has this long list of things that you have to do to qualify for it. One of them is this. To qualify for a grant pursuant to this section, a law enforcement agency must have received funding from a sales and use tax authorized pursuant to Section 201 of this act before awarding the grant. Yeah, a city or county has to pass a special increase in the sales tax. So it's sort of like, you pass the tax, you put some funding in, we'll give you some funding as well. So the grant is contingent on increased taxes.
From both ways.
Which that wasn't the deal. That wasn't sold to anyone.
Taxes make
it says the rate of the tax under this section would have to equal 0.1% of the selling price. Monies received from the tax imposed under this section must be expended for criminal justice purposes. So you've got to have this new tax that's funding criminal justice purposes very broadly, and then you can supplement that with this grant. It's nuts. And the other aspect of it, too, that I think is very important that the Criminal Justice Training Commission pointed out is that it requires applicants to comply with reporting and training programs that have not been implemented by the state. So in reading some of them, and again, it's a long list. I don't have a graphic for this, Nicole. I'm just going to read through it because there's just so much here, where they said that to qualify for the grant. So it's this long list of things you have to do to qualify. So you have to issue and implement policies and practices consistent with the Office of the Attorney General's Keep Washington Working Act guide, which of course is the sanctuary policies. So you have to blatantly be in violation of federal law as a law enforcement agency to get this grant. You have to issue and implement policies and practices regarding use of force and de-escalation tactics. Again, tactics that are best practices, not necessarily even state law. 25% of your officers have to have completed the commission's 40-hour crisis intervention team training. And 100% of your officers have to be compliant with a requirement to complete trauma-informed, gender-based violence interviewing, investigation, response, and case review training. So what is this all about? Well, it's about helping out the Criminal Justice Training Commission. Money. But it's also about these grants only going to law enforcement agencies that are willing to abide by what the progressives want law enforcement to be. So what, like Seattle? Olympia? So unless you're doing every single thing the far left wants you to do as a law enforcement agency, not even stuff that you're required to do by state law, but their wish list of training and de-escalation and race-based, gender-based, whatever it is, you're not going to see a dime of this money. So, anyone east of the Cascades, you can forget your community getting any of this grant money for additional law enforcement. This is nuts.
Oh, it's going to go in the Democrats' part.
And again, I will take full responsibility for it, for not having done this segment I'm doing right now 3 months ago. And I know that it's undergone some revisions.
Being hired.
I don't know how it went under my radar. I'm kind of ashamed of it, to be honest. But now Bob Ferguson gets to trot out there, say he's fulfilled his chief campaign promise to fund law enforcement to make our communities less safe. 80% of the state will just believe that, the passive news consumers. And he'll get to hang his hat on that like he's pro-cop. And at the end of this, we might not even have a single new police officer funded with this money. It's just going to fund progressive wish list items again. I mean, what a slap in the face. And every time I think I can't possibly be more disappointed with him and disappointed with Democrats and progressives for their lying and their gaslighting, something like this. I mean, something we genuinely need, and that should be a nonpartisan issue. Like, we need more police officers. Things are not good right now. It's taken like 8-9 minutes in some areas to respond to life or death emergencies. Imagine being raped actively. Getting a call off to 911, it takes them 9 minutes to respond. And now they want to act, Bob wants to act like he's helping fix that through this bill. When it doesn't do that at all, we're going to end up with a bunch of peer counselors who are peer counselors in gender-based violence interviewing. We're not going to end up with cops with guns and badges on the street saving lives.
Pretty good. That was pretty good. Now, the next one's about Minnesota Representative Pete there confirms that Tampon Tim there was giving away free driver's licenses to people that didn't even get a driver's test or anything. Just as if you were an illegal immigrant, they could drive and they'd be able to vote. Watch this.
Governor Walz and the trifecta in Minnesota, the last legislative session, gave illegals free health care. It's called MinCare, free driver's license, and free college tuition. Now we're out of money. Minnesota's out of money. It was $18 billion surplus, and Walz urinated it away to a $6 billion tax increase on Minnesotans. Now it's a legislature where the Republicans, they're half and half in the House, so they have to work in a bipartisan way. Right now, Governor Walz understands we're in dire straits. He now wants to, rightfully so, kick or get rid of illegals on Medicaid in Minnesota. And his base is they're protesting him, etc. I mean, in my opinion, Governor Walz has been a really, really a disappointment, and that's the best I can say for Minnesota. And I will tell our listeners today that you ought to appreciate Minnesota because we took one for the team last election.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because they took him, and yeah, Big Daddy, the big guy, wasn't giving any more money. That's why.
What do you say to Governor Bob Ferguson and, of course, that extremism task force here in Washington that keeps on talking about far-right violence, but clearly today this is Antifa. These are far-left activists causing the mayhem.
Yeah, Ferguson and his friends are focused on the wrong thing, and it's intentional. And so, if the roles were reversed, and this was some sort of far-right individuals who were attacking other people who had peacefully assembled for a rally, it'd be breaking news. Ferguson would be down here in person.
It'd be like
but, when it's targeted towards evangelicals or people who might lean conservative, of course, it's given a free pass. And so, it's not just us who've been assaulted. Cops have been beat up as well. And, the police know because they see it on the front lines who are the real agitators. And I think it's despicable that our political leadership in this state not only allows this, but encourages this.
Crazy arrest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, backing up. Multiple arrests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people arrested. Multiple Antifa militants. Maybe another one here. Yep, behind the bikes. Hey, how are you? Any comments, sir? What's going on here?
The law, that's all we're doing. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
that's the latest from SPD right now. The men and women of SPD doing their job. Think about the risks they're taking right now, just trying to keep the peace here at Cal Anderson Park. Again, today started off with a peaceful Christian rally to stand with children against transgender ideology. Dozens of Antifa militants dressed up in black blocked outside. These militants, Antifa militants, being arrested and put in the wagon. These are repeat offenders, multiple Antifa militants who've been arrested before for public disorder.
Thank you.
It's at least 1, 2, 3. That one with green hair. 4, 5. 5 people arrested here, and of course the comrades are here swarming. And SPD is
a lot of them are wearing helmets and
trying to bring in the wagon now. But you see the strong police presence here. Easily more than 100 officers here right now dedicated to Cal Anderson Park and this Christian music festival. Again, taking a stand against transgender ideology. With the militants here, the far left activists, and
all masked up.
This is what they despise. They despise the church. They despise Christ. They despise the family unit. And they despise police.
Yeah, they don't love families.
Who the hell are you defending?
Christians.
And I'm going to step back so the officers can do their jobs. And this is the way, again, SPD enforcing the law, doing a tremendous job out here just in the midst of the chaos. They're making the arrests that need to be made. And,
I'd like to see more of them do a little more jail time. Maybe they wouldn't be so violent.
All right, just like that.
Not one single Christian was arrested or anything. Anything to do with this violence.
Some more arrests here coming up.
I believe this was the week before.
Wow, this is an absolute melee, total chaos right now. Like
some of these videos overlap a little.
Two people.
Almost done.
Looks like an Antifa militant there, wearing black cloth. Another. Looks like pepper spray's been deployed. Pepper spray's definitely been deployed.
I agree.
SPD
I agree.
Pepper spray right now.
Gotta take it
It's
off so you see the face, if nothing else.
They're forming all here with their bicycles. Totally chaotic. Again, the concert goers have left safely, but as they were exiting, several Antifa militants came up, rushed, and here he goes. There's one of the fellas right there.
Okay, John. I wish I was there. Actually, I might have made. A lot of these Trantifa can't fight worth crap. The only way they'll do anything is when they outnumber you. And there's many of them.
Oh my gosh.
I found that out in D.C. when it was about 20 against 1.
I'm not sure if SPD did it, but it's definitely in the air.
And they have PVC pipe.
All right, there we go. Now we have a face.
They are the fastest, actually, but too dumb to know it. Hopefully they'll go horse.
Antifa unmasked. There you go. Yelling trans power as he or she is being arrested. We're not sure if it's a male or a female.
I believe it's a male. I've seen him.
Antifa has been unmasked.
It's a dude. The more they try to look like a woman makes it know that it's
So it looks like 2 arrests here at the end of the evening of this Christian concert.
It's a dude.
More examples of far-left violence in Washington. Far-left extremism continues to be an issue here. No sign of any right-wing extremism. Again, it's all from the left. The far left causing chaos, mayhem.
And when the mayor has the audacity to put out a statement blaming us,
blaming
you, your fault because you don't have the same values as Seattle. What are the values of Seattle? What are the values of Seattle, Mayor Bruce Harrell? The values of record fentanyl overdoses, the value of lawlessness, the value of homelessness at an all-time high, the value of 90% increase in drug overdose deaths, the value of property crime being off the chart, the value of families not even wanting to raise their kids in the Emerald City, which used to be known for its shine. What values? The same mayor who has criminal charges against him because before he ran for public office, he got in a road rage fit with a woman who was 8 months pregnant and pointed a gun at her in a parking lot. The same mayor who has covered up for the sexual indiscretions of several members of his team at Seattle City Hall and kept them on the payroll while their victims are trying to put back together their lives. The same mayor who, by the way, covered up for his boss, the former mayor of Seattle, Ed Murray, who was credibly accused of molesting 5 little boys. What values, Mr. Mayor, are you so opposed to that the church is talking about? No, the church is not the problem in Seattle. It's the answer to the problems in Seattle. And we are taking a prophetic stamp, fired up, on the front steps of City Hall at 5 p.m. And well, 5 p.m., oh, Seattle, oh, there's traffic. Oh, I live an hour away. Well, I don't like going down there. Then quit complaining on social media. Shut your mouth.
Go back to doing church potlucks to try to pay the electrical bill every month. I didn't sign up for this thing to be a coward. No, it's time for people to take a stand. And this message is resonating with people on the right, even people on the left, people of faith, people of no faith at all. I think it's going to be so far left. They've driven media's going to be there. Center. People are turning out. And I hope to God the Church of Jesus Christ can take a break from 5 hours of Netflix and find themselves on the front lines tomorrow. We're going to fight for our city, and we're asking you to join us. Share the graphics, share the invite, let people know, phone a friend, text a friend, invite a pastor, invite a network. Do what you can to get there tomorrow, 5 p.m., on the front steps of City Hall. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Stop talking a big game about revival and reformation if you can't get off your couch for 60 minutes to take a stand in one of the biggest cities of our nation that is coming against the church. Quit playing games. Either get in the game or just, rage tweet for the rest of your life. No, we're going to do something about it. We're going to be there. Jenny Donnelly's going to be there. Russ Johnson is going to be there. Ben Rose is going to be there. Pursuit Church is going to be there. Jesus Collective is going to be there. Her Voice Movement is going to be there. California Will Be Saved is going to be there. May Day is going to be there. We are rallying the people of God, and this is just beginning. Just let me give you a hint. Watch for statements from friends on the East Coast tonight. That's just a little hint. This thing ain't staying small. God will not do a small thing. He's going to do a big thing. And it's an inflection point, not just for the city, but for the nation.
Yeah, the way he beat the left has come out in big numbers.
4th Avenue, 5 p.m.
They try to stop you about making fear.
Let's take a stand for the values that we hold dear.
Yep, I agree. All right, I'm going to finish with the same video I started with. A lot of you people weren't here to watch this one.
Hundreds of Christian worshipers flooded Seattle's Cal Anderson Park Saturday afternoon to pray for the city and take a stand for traditional family values.
You will not disrespect the blood of Jesus Christ!
Especially against transgender ideology targeting children, all part of the May Day USA revival movement sweeping across the nation.
And the Lord says, sound the alarm! Sound the alarm! Lift up your voice!
But a time of blessing and praise quickly devolved into chaos. Far-left activists and Antifa militants tried to disrupt the concert.
Pushing cops, fighting, absolutely insane.
Throwing water balloons at the crowd, menacing attendees, and some activists even tried rushing the stage.
I would say there's two kingdoms clashing here today. There's the kingdom of God, and then there's the kingdom of Satan.
Which led to numerous clashes and scuffles with police.
All these Antifa activists. And then you got the concert going on here right now. What's it been like today?
And I think it just illustrates
this was from the week before.
The idea that people who champion free speech and champion free expression are ultimately threatened and irritated by anybody else who has an opposing message. So
Russell Johnson with Pursuit Church was one of several pastors from Seattle participating with their congregations.
The mayor's trying to declare a state of emergency to shut down the event, but we're not going anywhere.
He says some of his volunteers were assaulted during the melee.
We've got people with bloody faces.
That's his worship pastor, Michael Leidy, stopping a man from crashing the gathering.
It's absolutely crazy.
As the day progressed, another group of trans activists marched into the park, adding to the number of people targeting followers of Jesus Christ with nasty messages, vile curse words, and full-blown debauchery. But even with the taunting, middle fingers, and disparaging comments, Folake Kellogg says prayers of love and forgiveness were sent to their attackers on the other side.
Not only do we come here to show the love of God, but we hope that by the time we are done here, that the atmosphere in Seattle will change.
We will be setting back up the fence line, and any counter-protesters are going to be escorted back behind it.
Officers eventually put up a metal barricade, separating the violent mob from concertgoers after more militants tried to breach the police line. When all was said and done, 23 people were hauled away in handcuffs, one officer injured, and a city left in desperate need of healing and leadership. Instead, Mayor Bruce Harrell sent out a controversial statement that appeared to be more divisive, calling the Christian concert an extreme right-wing rally that went against the LGBTQ values of the city.
That one with green hair.
Implying the peaceful worshipers brought this on themselves over the weekend. Harrell also questioned why a permit to use the park was issued to the group.
I think they're going to have changes.
This got the attention of the Trump administration.
This is the president's agenda.
Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmeet Dillon wrote on X, to deny a group a permit to pray in a public space because of crowd reaction is the classic heckler's veto, which is barred by the First Amendment. Seattle's mayor clearly needs an education in viewpoint discrimination.
The mayor of Seattle owes Christians in Washington state an apology for his bigoted remarks.
Pastor Johnson eviscerated the mayor during his Sunday sermon.
Church people were assaulted, and the mayor of Seattle has the audacity to blame Christians for the violence.
And is mobilizing hundreds of evangelicals for a protest in front of City Hall on Tuesday.
And it's not just us who've been assaulted, cops have been beat up as well.
Johnson says they're demanding an apology
this is happening
after
in
Harrell
Seattle,
victim-blamed Christians.
No, the police know because they see it on the front lines. Who are the real agitators?
The pastor says it's also time to send a strong message to political leaders in Washington state who have failed to condemn far-left violence for years. In the end, none of the Christians retaliated and were safely escorted out by police after the concert. Many saying the persecution energized their faith.
Bible says this is going to happen. This is nothing new. It's something we're used to. And we just love the opportunity to love on them and share the gospel.
And are now planning to pray even harder for Seattle.
Everyone receives Jesus in a different way.
Hoping to conquer hate with the love of Christ.
They really want to hurt you. Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed this. I'll be back on tomorrow. I got some other clips, probably late in the day. I got to look at what's going on at the home. I know I got to work on the car and that, so probably late in the day. Like sometime between 6 and 9. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye bye. I got to go over here. I'm on the wrong page. Talk to you soon. God bless everyone.